We're late and everybody's complaining and the wailing and gnashing of good morning and welcome back to Gaming with ADHD, where today we are continuing our deep dive into Mechwarrior the Battletech role-playing game, and hopefully with way less technical interruptions. I'm your host, Brian, and joined today, as always, for this series at least, is
the Capellan sympathizer, MaxLiao, named after the Chancellor and most glorious leader, Celestial Wisdom of the Capellan Confederation.
I mean, what better way to honor the Chancellor himself?
Yep, and what better way to disrespect him than be late?
Hey, I'm not Capellan. I'm
and
free
if
here.
You know what? If you were Karitan, I would expect you to seppuku right now.
I'm not that either. How you doing, Max?
I'm recovering. I had a little bit of a headache this morning. I think I'm dehydrated again. So my wife gave me, oh my God, this to drink. So yeah, oops, and even a little on the side that I'm supposed to add to it, which I'm doing right now. No, it's not vodka. I'm not that lucky. But no, I'm feeling much better now. Took a little old man nap, did a little minor workout. I've been working out by trying to pretend I'm a Ninja Turtle. No, I found my sai from like 30 years ago, and I've been actually seeing if I can remember how to use them. And we'll just say mostly no, but I'm kind of getting the hang of them again. So,
are you feeling like you could star in a movie wearing a rubber suit yet?
Nope. No. It'll probably take me never. No, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to stay interested in doing it. But the thing is they're doing a really good job of working on my forearms and my shoulders. So I'm like, you know what? I can do that. You know. But yeah, so I did a little bit of a workout before the stream, and you know, I'm feeling better.
Good to hear. Yeah, it's speaking of working out, everyone keeps trying to say, "Oh, Brian needs to work out. Oh, stop being fat." But then it's just like, that's a lot of work.
Do we have the same wife?
I know, right? She's like, you need to take me on a walk. And in reality, she's just saying, you need to go on a walk. But, you know.
You need to take me on a walk. And then the door shuts behind you and locks. You're like, what? Come back when you're done. It's like when we were growing up as kids. When the street lights come on, you can come back.
Yeah. Problem there is that usually when we go, it's like, you know, 8, 9 o'clock at night. So, you know, the street lights are already out.
Well, see, I would do it for you. I'd do it after work. So it'd be like, you know, 8, 9 in the morning, then come back when the street lights.
That's true. Yeah. Anyway, it's complicated.
Uh-oh.
No, because number one, I'm in Arizona. So if it's July, by 9 o'clock, you know, it's, you know, 112 degrees out.
Okay, I lived in New Mexico, not Arizona, but I also lived in Kuwait. I will take 130 degrees Fahrenheit and that negative 5% humidity that just sucks the water out of you than this crap I deal with here in Alabama.
No, my point is just, you know, like, because then I'm gonna go
put
to
on
bed.
A hat. The sun can't touch you. It'll be fine.
Right, but then I'm all sweaty and gross before I go to bed.
Okay, wear one of those Arab man dresses. I forget what they're called. They look cool, but I can't remember what they're called. Little rope hat that they got. Can I sound any more Western?
I was gonna say that is that's.
I lived in Kuwait. I had a great time there. It was too damn hot though.
No, it is hot, and you know, I'm just saying in July that could be a problem.
Yeah.
So anyhow, all right. So we got Malachi here. We got A88 miles per hour. I'll be honest. Sometimes like A88, I'm glad you're here, but your username is difficult to just roll off the tongue. Anyways, but I did want to grab this. Last week I got a D&D friend into Battletech and he wants to dive right into an RPG. Interesting. Glad we're doing this. Which version are you doing? Are you doing Time of War or are you going to go classic like we've been covering? We'll be doing the story of a Free Worlds League Baroness reclaiming her throne. Ooh.
Well, that's a story of like every planet in the Free Worlds League. So, you know,
that's completely fair. Yeah, that's true. It does have more options. I can give him that for doing Time of War as opposed to 1E, but yeah, we'll get there. Hey, I never said that when I started, I would just put, I would just say gaming with ADHD. I never said my name. But now it's Brian. Everyone knows I'm Brian. So it's fine. Anyhow. All right. So let's see. Anything else we should cover while we wait for people? We got 5 people watching already. Holy crap. Welcome, everyone.
No, I'm going to spread some rumor news.
Uh-oh. Rumor news from Max.
I'm going to spread some rumor news. If you back Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I highly suggest that you stay close to your email over the next few days.
Like,
if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. That means you didn't back it. It's okay.
Like I should be
I think there's going to be good news in less than a week. I think there's going to be good news.
Should I sit here whole stream with my email in front of me?
I mean, yes, because then I can run the show and you'll get more views. Not because I'm a better host, because people are like, what the hell is going on here? It'll be such a train wreck that they're going to be, guys, come in, watch this.
That's totally fair. Yes. So I'm going to agree with Max because, he kind of told me, watch your email. There might be, some good news on the way. So,
well, I hope. I want to be very clear. I don't know crap. I hope. I smell it in the air, so to speak. So,
right. So keep an eye out for your email. Actually, you know what?
I had one of the, let's just say one of the belts of the straight jacket, because everybody here knows I cover Palladium stuff and I talk with Kevin and Sean and Jeremy. But I had one of the straps of the straight jacket released. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I will put it this way. Don't necessarily go nuts watching your email, but maybe every day do a search in your email for turtles. Okay? Because how many times how many times do you go to your email and what you were looking for showed up in the promotions tab, and now you're I was waiting for that email, and 3 weeks later you're like, oh, I found it now. So anyways, just do a search for it. That way you'll find it. Anyways.
And you know what? I'm gonna Teenage Mutant Battle Max.
They did do Critter Tech.
Dude, I have Critter Tech. Do you have it?
I don't have it.
Oh, let me show it to the folks.
I met the guy who made Critter Tech. I think he died recently, relatively recently.
I can't find it. I can't find it right now. As is typical that happens, I probably have it out of order somewhere because I haven't looked at it in forever. But I do have Critter Tech. The clans cheating with those metal bats was just not right.
Yeah, the guy that did Critter Tech died of a stroke 3 years ago.
Oh geez. Not a way to go, man. God dang it.
Nope.
I'm so nervous about that. That's one of the few things. Heart attack, yeah, you die, but a stroke, no. I know too many people have had strokes, and no.
Yeah, I met him. I want to say it was at a ReaperCon, Reaper Miniatures little get together every year. Super nice guy. Really liked him. And here we are. All right. Anyways,
if you're not depressed now, we'll depress you when we start talking about combat rules.
I mean, because we're going to be talking, so who wouldn't get depressed? All right. So due to technical difficulties last week, I believe this is where we were at. I did not go back and rewatch the episode, folks, so you'll have to cut us some slack. But we were talking about, we were talking about writing movement because characters traveling by mount can select any 4 movement options at the beginning of each movement phase: stand still, walk, trot, or gallop. You remember the whole discussion we had over that?
Oh, did I tell my 7-year-old horse riding horror story?
Yeah, you told your 7-year-old horse riding horror story, and the fact that you thought that there should be something, I think it was something between trot and gallop.
Canter.
There we go. So
I mean, to be fair, gallop and canter, I think they're close enough. I just think that if you're trotting, you can't shoot, because if you've ever been bounced around on a horse that's trotting, because if I remember correctly, it uses like a 5-step beat instead of a 4-step beat, or whatever. An equestrian would answer that better than I could. But yeah, you get trotting is just like, how can I make this ride as horrible as possible?
Fair enough. So anyway, so I know we covered all of that. I think we had covered the different types of riding animals, because we'd gotten to, I think we'd seen the Odessan racks somewhere.
Sounds like a thundercat.
Except a large but extraordinarily docile reptile that can be tamed and harnessed as a riding beast. Oh, yeah, because we had this discussion too. Was first encountered on the Steiner world, Odessa. It is now known to be indigenous in slightly varied forms on at least a dozen worlds in the successor states with low mean temperatures.
I want to know what progenitor repopulated those things all over the place. Slightly different form, but you said indigenous. The same thing as indigenous on multiple planets. That means that there's a progenitor race in Battletech out there somewhere who seeded planets.
Right, exactly. And for all the big deal that everybody makes about, about there not being aliens in Battletech, this is clearly an indication that there's something. What are the clans protecting us from, Max?
Right. or the Explorer Corps, because they went past the periphery to the south.
That's true.
Maybe
what has the Explorer Corps not told us? Exactly. That is exactly what I was going to say if I could, use words.
Been practicing that telepathy too much. You got to get back to actually reading now.
Yes. Actual words are important. All right, let's get started on this. Everybody's kind of wondering why we're still yapping. All right. As always, real quick, folks, before we get started, don't forget, like the stream. It helps the algorithm. If you're new here watching this on the replay, drop comments. Tell us, why you think we should cover more Mechwarrior. I don't know.
Better yet, if you have the option, you get 3 per week. So do 2 on Legion Myth and do 1 on this video. Hype it. Click that hype button. It'll help it go trending. Check that crap out. But remember, 2 for Legion Myth, 1 for him. I'm taking time out of my day to be here.
That's fair. That's fair. I keep forgetting about hype because I never watch it. Actually, I watch a lot on my phone. I forget those two. Anyways, basically, hype is a new thing for small creators, so it absolutely does help. Yeah, if you want to do that, that would be great. We'd appreciate it. So, anyways, with that said, let's get into it. All right. So, also real quick, folks, we are picking up from where we left off last week. Yes, it's going to be kind of in the middle of stuff, but, when your internet kind of craps out, you don't get to finish like you
And
expected.
If you make Brian rich enough, he'll hire an editor who can mash all this crap together, and you won't even notice. It'll be seamless.
Exactly. But got to get more subs and views and, all that fun stuff.
Or that $10,000 super chat.
Or the 10,000. We'll take that too. Can they?
I like how you said we. Yeah, we.
if I got a $10,000 super chat while you were on, I'm not saying you'd get much, but you'll get something.
He comes over to my channel and gives me a $2 super chat next time. There you go. Here's your change. Thank you. Now shut up and get back here next Wednesday.
We are nothing but professional on this channel. That is not wrong. Not wrong at all. All right. Terrain modifiers. Mounted characters may not enter heavy woods or building hexes of any type, and may not safely enter rubble, depth 2 water, or marsh swamp hexes at paces faster than a walk. Okay, that is got there in the end, but at first I'm like, they can't enter heavy.
I know,
that is a lot of restrictions.
Yeah, same here. I was thinking, I was about to complain, be like, and then yep, nice little twist at the end. What a twist!
Yeah, that's fine, but I would have preferred in writing, unless walking, mounted characters,
or at paces faster than a walk, just using its own language, right?
Yeah, right. Although characters may attempt trotting through such hexes, it requires a saving roll against the dex score for each hex entered. Failed roll will result in 10 HTK.
Hit to kill. That's your hit points.
Oh.
Do you not remember that? Have you been reading this book?
I have. On Wednesdays,
you been showing up for
while
these
we're live?
streams?
We haven't gotten to damage yet, Max.
No, I know. It talked about hit to kill, or like in the first or second episode.
No.
In character creation.
I don't believe you.
I'd say control F it, but it's a scan, not a...
I was going to say, yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and I don't care. I'm no, there's the background. There's... this is skills.
It's under body or something. Yeah, right there.
Oh.
This is your host, folks. This is your host. He reads the book and can't even tell. He doesn't even read it. He's just an AI. It's like Heathen Dog now.
I will admit, sometimes I do struggle, like with doing the comprehension while doing the reading. So
I have the opposite problem. When I'm reading, it's not a big deal. It's when nope. Actually, you're right. It's when I'm reading that I remember less than when Heathen Dog's reading.
Okay, so it did come up all right. It failed roll result. Also, that's dumb. It should just say it result in 10 damage, as determined by the damage location table. Also, like one reference after like 50 or 60 pages. That's again horrible editing. Terrain modifiers for riding beast movement are shown on the following table. Surprise, it's a table.
What does it mean? What does that table mean, sir?
Okay. So as in a typical Battletech table, it's going to list out the terrain type, how many movement points it will cost while riding a beast.
Is it to enter the hex or to exit the hex?
This is Battletech. It is always to enter the hex. So no modifiers on leaving.
This is Mechwarrior. Yeah.
Okay, fair, but
it should be the same. God, it better be the same. Well, it says traveling through. That's a problem. What you read above, a little higher.
Well, no, but starting here, mounted characters may not enter. And so, yeah, so this is going to be your costs entering this type of hex.
Okay.
So,
So if you only have one movement point left, you're standing on the edge of the woods looking in like, hey, let me in. And not until next round.
Oh, sorry. You said one movement point left for a second there. I'm like, no, there's rules where like you can still do that if it's your only movement. Then I'm like, oh, one left.
Yeah, one left.
Not one total.
You got to the edge of the woods and you're about to step in. It's like, no, none shall enter.
Right.
Until next round.
But yeah, again, check the table. Special maneuvers, mount or dismount. It costs 3 movement points for a character to mount or dismount a stationary horse or mule. 4 movement points to mount or dismount a camel or rax, and 6 movement points to mount an elephant or tabaranth. A running or sprinting character may also attempt to leap astride a moving horse or mule at a cost of 6 movement points. To mount successfully also requires a saving roll against his dex score -2, -4 if the beast is galloping. Equestrian skill modifiers also apply. A character attempting to jump from a moving horse spends 2 movement points and must also make a saving roll against dex to land without falling.
That is a lot of mount rules for a robot game.
This isn't necessarily a robot game. This is Mechwarrior. So you're dealing with that individual
Mechwarriors do what?
What if they were taken prisoner and now they're escaping and trying to
rob a train?
Yeah, apparently.
No, I just think it's funny. I don't mind the rules. I mean, for the way this game is set up, I think the rules make sense. I just think it's funny. Like, wow, you went really in depth on how to get on a dang horse for a game that's got hovercraft
and the thing that I think is interesting is that it seems like a lot, but all of this, it's like, oh no, these are all totally reasonable.
Yeah, no, again, perfectly reasonable. But you'd think, I don't know, an entire paragraph on that's got all these different ways of getting on and off a horse. I find it funny in a mech game.
That I get the joke you're trying to make, Max, and I'm sorry for ruining it.
It's not even a joke. I find it interesting, odd.
You're pointing it out because you're trying to make it funny. I get it. You know, it's a role-playing game. Like if they're gonna, anyways, I'm being too literal right now.
You know what people think of, Rifts is a role-playing game too, right? I get a lot of hate, and I don't even write the books. I barely even talk about Rifts. The cowboy skills are stupid. They shouldn't be in the main book. Okay. So, people have thoughts about horses in their science fiction. Not everybody likes Westworld or Firefly.
But that's the other thing. I look at it and especially when after reading the background section, it's like these are a lot of
these worlds are backwater, yeah.
Yeah, they're backwater, or they're low tech, or the tech has been bombed out of existence. I
agree. I just think it's funny that they have a lot of mount and dismount options in there instead of takes an action to get on a horse, 2 actions if it's moving or something. Just something simple like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. How big is it? How fast is it moving? How good is your equestrian skill? It just seems, I don't know. Doesn't seem out of place. It just seems interesting. That's the word I want to use.
Exactly. It's not out of, that's why I'm quote unquote arguing with you. It's because it's like none of this is out of place. Especially from a Battletech perspective, again, we keep making the joke that this is Battletech with extra steps. That again, all of this sounds
Brian's
reasonable.
acting like my wife when she wants to start an argument but doesn't have a reason for it, so she's just trying to pick on whatever she can. You know what? That's right. The sun was out today. What? I just think it's interesting. Fine. You know what? I don't think it's interesting at all. I think it's boring. Let's move on. Oh, look, jumping and leaping. Let me guess. It's going to be about horses.
It is. Horses and tabaranths are excellent jumpers who can clear obstacles up to 2 meters high and leap distances up to 10 meters without difficulty at a cost of 3 movement points. Conversely, neither an elephant nor a rax, regardless of how well trained, will willingly traverse a ditch, crevice, or other open space, if even a few centimeters width. As an Odessan proverb puts it, they would rather die than fly. All other riding beasts possess jumping, leaping abilities similar to those of humans traveling on foot.
We haven't by now genetically modified elephants to use their ears to help them fly. Haven't they seen Dumbo? I mean, we're 1,000 years in the future.
That's in Battletech Gothic.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Oh man! By the way, if you don't know what Brian's talking about, your ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
I'm going to disagree.
Oh God.
I'm going to disagree. From the word go, they said this is an alternate universe product. It's a more or less a one-off.
That should have stayed in somebody's toilet.
I disagree. I disagree vehemently.
I'm going to go get my clown shoes shirt. I'm wearing my clown shoes shirt next week.
They're not making the clown shoes like regular. They just are doing a one-off.
I don't care where it is. Clown shoes are always bad.
Clown shoes are not always bad.
Yes, they are. Even for Halloween, they're bad.
You are coming around to Rifts, and Rifts is nothing but clown shoes.
That is true. I can't argue that one. Damn it. Touche, sir. Touche. Coming around doesn't mean I'm there yet, though. Still more corner to go.
Hey, A88, you don't have to pick it up. It's fine. And I think they actually did some interesting things. They don't have like actual demons. It's all genetically modified creatures, Anyways, it's fine. And yes, anyways, all right, that's a completely let's move on.
Oh wow, poor Surface.
I'm starting fights I don't need to start. Max,
look, vehicles. There are actually vehicles in the world.
Max, tell us about these vehicles.
Okay, will do. Wheeled, tracked, and ground effect vehicles of various types all remain common sights on the 31st century landscape and may often fight alongside or against individual warriors in personal combat encounters or try to take jumps with those horses. Vehicles receive a variable movement point allowance per combat round depending on the rate of speed measured in kilometers per hour. They're assumed to be traveling. A vehicle receives 1 movement point for every 2 kilometers per hour increment of speed. For example, a vehicle moving 10 kilometers per hour during a given movement phase may move 5 movement points. One moving 20 kilometers per hour, 10 movement points. What if the speed limit is 25? How am I supposed to figure that out? 40 kilometers per hour is 20 movement points, and so on. A vehicle's driver may elect to raise or lower his rate of speed by up to 20 kilometers per hour per combat round. The vehicle movement rates table lists the normal maximum safe driving speeds for each of the most common combat sport vehicles in Succession Wars. Drivers exceeding these limits must make saving rolls against their dexterity each movement round to maintain control of their vehicles. For every 10 kilometers per hour of excess speed that a vehicle is moving, add 1 to the base saving roll target. Ouch. The second and third columns of the table show the modified safe speeds that apply to characters with driving skills of 4 or 6 plus. Oh, so hey, you know what? That's actually kind of cool. The more professional you are as a driver, we'll call it, the more skilled you are, the more you're an indie racer, the faster speeds you can handle. I like that.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. And it's 1 movement point for every 2 kilometers per hour. Okay.
Yeah. Remember, these are 5-meter hexes, not the standard 30-meter hexes. Or is it 10-meter hexes? I forget.
Right.
See, now I forgot.
All right. Here. I'm going to... Otherwise, this cat is going to keep going. All right. Keep reading just beyond it. I got to go let the cat out. He's going to keep whining.
Okay. Turning. A vehicle's ability to turn sharply, an example of changing facing from one hex to the other, is inversely related to its current rate of speed. A vehicle moving at a rate of 10 kilometers or less may change facing at will as it carries out its movement. Vehicles moving at faster speeds are restricted to the number of facing changes they can make per turn per the turning restriction table. So if you're moving at 40 kilometers per hour, you no more than 1 60-degree facing change per 3 hexes. You have to go 3 hexes, and then you can do it again. Then you can go 3 more hexes, and then you can do it again, and so on and so forth. And if you're doing more than 161 kilometers per hour, that's about 100 miles per hour right there. No more than 1 facing change per 6 hexes.
Okay. Interesting restriction, but I actually like that.
Well, it does kind of make sense. I mean, so now is that turning restriction total, or is that like, well, if you do more, like, what if I just want to do that 180 right now and hope I don't roll the car? You know, does that now just mean a roll? Piling skill roll? I mean, that part didn't say it. So, I mean, let's see.
Read the next paragraph.
Yeah. Ground vehicles, hovercraft, skimmers, etc., may always change facing at will, regardless of the speed of travel, because of the nature of the propulsion systems. Maybe it shouldn't have said ground vehicles there. It should probably just start it off with hovercraft.
Maybe it's supposed to be like ground effect vehicles. So something not touching the ground.
Because the examples are hovercrafts and skimmers, and yes. Anyway, game masters are encouraged to use the Battletech movement rules wherever possible, especially the skid rules found in City Tech. Oh God, that poor spider. Remember that Battletech or City Tech is 30 meters wide, and Mechwarrior Hex is only 5 meter wide, so 1/6. Quick story: I failed the piloting skill roll after running 12. And do you know what skidding 12 does to a spider?
Nothing
Imagine
good.
Sandpaper, and the last thing that the pilot saw before all that damage, scraped him away, is just his mech was just getting closer and closer and closer to the ground. He just sandpapered him away. There'll be a story I will always remember, and it was a very sad day for that spider. Most vehicles have severe restrictions on the hex types they may safely enter. Vehicles may not normally enter either heavy woods or building hexes. Although, around 25-ton wheeled or track vehicle may attempt to crash through a building wall. Oh, so if 25 tons or more. So, yeah, okay. The vehicle terrain modifier table lists other modifiers. Vehicles may change elevation at a cost of 2 movement points per level. Vehicles may only change 1 level per hex. Hovercraft may travel over water of any level. No other vehicle may enter water hexes. So look at all those places you can't go.
I mean, maybe you should get a horse.
Maybe you should get
or Grax.
Well, can a horse do rough?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it can walk. It can't run. That's right.
No, it can even it can't gallop. It can trot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, again, nobody wants to trot a horse. All right, where are we here? Most vehicles have severe restriction. We did that. We did that. Okay, so the next is the table. Oh, we already looked at the table. Okay, special maneuvers, entering and disembarking. Okay, could have just said entering, exiting, or embarking, disembark, whatever. You know what? They wanted to be funny in this one. It costs 3 movement points to get in or out of a stationary vehicle. A running or sprinting character may attempt to leap aboard a moving vehicle at a cost of 6 movement points. To board successfully, however, he must also make a saving roll against dexterity +1 for each 10 kilometers the vehicle is moving. Hold up. So if I got a really good dex and that thing's going 60 kilometers per hour, you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a chance.
If I have a high dex, okay.
I mean, it's a not zero chance, but it's not a zero chance.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Planet-side travel rates. Game masters monitoring the movement of units across a planet surface will normally use one of 2 basic travel scales, overland or melee. Following are descriptions of each type and the movement speeds possible for characters and vehicles. Overland movement. Use overland movement scales whenever players are attempting to journey from one place to place over a significant distance of open country or wilderness. This is that scene in Lord of the Rings where all on the horses and they're just running across the landscape and you're like, oh my God, get to the next thing.
Yeah.
And when they will not encounter other individuals en route. Overland movement is normally charted on a hex grid, with 1 hex representing a distance of 5 kilometers and each turn representing 1 hour. What? You go 5 kilometers per hour? I guess if you're not driving, fine. The overland movement rate table indicates the travel rates. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Using various modes of transport under conditions of clear terrain and clear weather. Remember that parties employing a mixture of vehicle types can only move as fast as their slowest member, or as they should have added here, leave that member behind because he's too damn slow.
Come on, Jimmy. Get in shape.
I don't have to outrun the bear. I have to outrun you.
That's which it was funny because when you're saying this, it's like, okay, so where was it? With one hex representing a distance of 5 kilometers and each turn representing 1 hour. So yeah, at first I'm like, that is kind of slow. Like 5 kilometers is like 3 miles. I can do 3 miles in less than an hour.
Sure.
I can. Not much less than an hour, but I can.
I do a 3-point mile when I work. I do it like how I said that when I work. I do a 3.2 mile walk in about 45 minutes.
Right. So yeah. So getting into this, so it's like they're actually giving you some extra speed, but yeah, man walking, overland movement points. So essentially, you could get 2 hexes in an hour.
Remember, they're very clear about that's in clear open terrain.
Correct. This is BattleTech. You're going to have a separate chart.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to have a separate chart for walking through the woods, walking through the mountains, walking through whatever.
Walking to grandma's house.
Right. So,
over the river and through the woods.
But I do like this where it's just like, okay, cool. This is the hex movement, on a map.
They'll even have a Manticore tank in there just in case.
I mean, who doesn't have a Manticore tank?
Me.
Oh, interesting. 4 movement point mech, 5 movement point, 6 movement point mech. I'm guessing that's walking speeds.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
So
yeah, that's weird. Wait. Oh no, because those are 5. Never mind. Those are 5 kilometer hexes. So I'm not going to do the math on that.
Yeah, close enough. All right. Weather effects. Certain weather conditions can restrict the overland movement speeds of various types of vehicles, where modifiers produce a fractional MP allowance, round up to the next whole number. Weather. Speeders travel at half speed under any bad weather conditions. Fog restricts movement speeds of all types of vehicles by 2/3. Snow restricts movement speed by 1/2. Snow has no effect on jet sleds, racks, hovercraft, air cars, or skimmers. It restricts the normal movement for tracked vehicles by 75%.
Aren't racks lizards?
Yes, but
so it doesn't affect their movement because they're freaking not moving.
No, remember, I was actually thinking about that today.
They're frozen.
Anyways, hold on.
Cold-blooded.
But no, remember, the racks are indigenous to planets that are typically cold. -10 Celsius is what.
Look who got his xenobiology degree.
No, I just read it like 3 times.
Well, look who reads a book
occasionally. But I was actually thinking about it. Like we have like ice dragons and all this stuff, and it's like they're lizards. They don't like the cold. Why would they be there?
Are they warm-blooded lizards?
I don't
know. Mammal lizards without fur?
That's where I'm super confused.
I mean, they are alien, right? Planted by some progenitor millions of years ago, so they say.
That's true. But this is one thing that I am curious about. So restricts movement by 75%, so it only gets to move 25% of its top speed.
I would say, yeah. I mean, that's what that language says. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's interesting though. For tracked vehicles restricts normal movement for tracked vehicles by 75%. Here's the thing: is I don't know a lot about tanks when it comes to all that stuff. I was never in the Army. I was in the Air Force. See, we had golf carts, remember? But I don't know how that honestly works. Like anybody out there drive tracks or half tracks, whether they're APCs or tanks, whatever. Does that make sense to lower its movement by 75? Because I thought tracks were better for things like snow and mud. Not too much mud, but you get because of the weight. But I thought it was better than wheeled. So I don't know. I'm not smart enough on that.
And that's where I'm confused, because then I also went back and reread Fog, where it restricts movement by 2/3. So
how about this? That should say safe movement by 2/3.
Well, I was yeah, nothing's stopping you.
That's some thick fog, dude. If it's slowing you down.
Right. So, all right. I'm going to say, Game Masters, use your best judgment
to kill the characters. I mean,
yes. Because those just seem a little rough. All right. Rain restricts the movement of all vehicles by 75%.
Wow. Okay, now I'm not agreeing with these numbers anymore.
Yeah, like I could see like multiply by 75%.
Yeah, like what kind of monsoon rain? Now, to be fair, here in Alabama, absolutely. I see that constant. The rain. I've still haven't had to pull over on the side of the highway yet, but a lot of people do. And yeah, there are times when you're going like 10, 15 down the highway. They get rain down here that is damn near monsoon rain that I've not used to. Up in Minnesota, we just get drizzle all the time. Nobody's slowing down for that crap.
Right. So
even a thunderstorm, you can still see through it, unlike down here where you just lost all vision everywhere. So I think it kind of depends on the type of rain. It's weird that they go into like 19 different ways of getting on a horse, but only one type of rain.
Yeah, right. I hadn't thought about that, but you're completely right. All right, terrain effects. Certain terrain conditions restrict the overland movement speeds of various types of vehicles. Where modifiers produce a fractional MP allowance, round up to the next whole number. Cross-reference the vehicle type with the general terrain type being traversed. NA means the terrain allows no vehicle movement. So, broken, rough, woods, mountain, multiply accordingly. Yeah, like doing something like this, I think would have been better than, reduce by this percentage. Anyways, I think I'm just being whiny about it. All right. Resolving movement daily. In instances where players must traverse hundreds of kilometers of terrain before reaching their destination, game masters may choose to resolve overland movement on a day-to-day basis. To determine how many kilometers a character can travel in one full day, multiply the movement point rate indicated in the above terrain effects table as follows. Walking and riding movement point times 10 hours, vehicle mech movement points times 12 hours, extendable to 24 hours if more than one driver is present.
Pish posh. I drove across country. Don't tell the Air Force this, but when I was in the Air Force, I drove across because they have rules about. I mean, I'm not in anymore. It doesn't matter. But they make you will not drive more than this per day. You will not. I drove 16 hours from New Mexico to Minnesota straight through.
Oh yeah, no, I was literally about to say, like, I think 12 hours is like really reasonable just to say, okay, you did this. But then if you want to extend or do more, to have penalties to make.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And believe me, there were penalties. The amount of no-dos and cigarettes going on at that time to keep the heart rate going enough for me to stay awake. Yes. I'm sure when I got to my folks' house, they thought I was on cocaine or something because
oh yeah. I did a
Uh-oh. Brian did done freeze. Are we back to the internet woes? Brian, come back. See, they do this to him at this time every week. They don't want him streaming. Or maybe he's getting the release renew. Or I don't know. But he's definitely frozen to me. Is he frozen to you guys out there? Maybe I'm talking to myself. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Oh, wait, just got a message. He said he heard me for a second. Well, who's frozen, me or Brian? Ha ha! It was him. So, yes. Guess what? Oh, Brian, okay. Well, hey, you know what? Once again, Max has taken over the show. Here's the funny thing. Oh, I still can't share. I mean, I could read it, but I can't share it for you guys to see. So what's the fun in that, right? So we'll just wait for him to come back. He'll be back in just a moment. I do think I would be really frustrated if I were him about those drops, though. He's got the Cloudflare outage. Nice. That's funny. Oh, we'll stand by just for a moment here to let him get him a chance to redo his router and, pay his ISP bill finally or something. So, see, I do this on purpose. What he doesn't know is I have a deal with StreamYard because I want to take over all the streams that I'm on. No. Oh, where are we in the book? What do we got to talk? Oh, he's coming back. There we go. He's back.
All right, give me just a second.
And I didn't even break terms of service. What's up?
I'm trying.
Oh, we can do that after the stream.
No, well,
or are you scared it's going to happen again?
I'm scared it's going to happen again. So
you're not able to do it from here. You'll have to back out and do it from your little dashboard thing.
I wonder if I can just.
You can probably open it in a new tab.
Window. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Under members, invite member,
and then use a Legion Myth email address, please. legionofmyth@gmail.com. Don't worry, I curate the crap out of that. So if anybody wants to spam me there, good luck. I don't think I have to.
Co-host is fine, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. I don't think you need admin perms.
I don't want admin.
Quit being so demanding, Max.
I said I don't want it. Is that a demand? It is now.
I'm sorry, folks. I just don't want this to happen again. So.
All right. I've accepted it. Should I see if I can share? Just on a whim here?
Yeah.
Your screen. Oh, it looks like I can. Look at that. Wait. Yeah, okay. We're on different pages, but yeah.
And then, well, can you kick that off and then kick it back on?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Can I? No. Wait. Nope, I can't.
I did that. You can't remove mine?
I cannot. I wonder if I have to log back in. I hope you don't have to make me an admin for that. There might be another option somewhere also.
Do you have the end? Do you have the end stream option in the upper right?
I do not.
Actually, refresh the page.
All right, I'll be back.
Yep.
I can do that. Okay, yes. Guess what? I can. Okay, yes. Now I do have a bit of access. I cannot end the stream, but hold on. I can do this.
Wait, you can't end the stream?
Nope. But hold on. I can do that. So
yeah, but I'd rather you have the end stream perms.
Nope. The only thing it says to me is stream this to your audience.
Well, that's just the sharing, I think.
I know, but I mean, I don't have the end stream. Wait, what's this button over here? Leave studio. Yeah. I have all this other stuff on the side now that I'm used to seeing on my StreamYard, but not the end stream.
Refresh and try it now.
Oh no! Did he give me too much power? Leave site. Yes, I want to leave the site. Go.
Folks, I do apologize and you on the replays. Sorry, I did not anticipate this being an issue. So.
Oh, look at that. I can end it anytime I want now. Unlimited power!
Do you give Heathen Dog this much power?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm not worried about it.
You know what's going to happen is now that we've done that, you're never going to have a problem again.
Probably. But you know what? It's you. I trust you, so I'm not worried about it, and I'll yank your perms when we're done. Not today, but like when we're done with the series.
Yep.
Anyways, all right.
Now, this is a live stream, so we can't edit all that out. So you all just got about 5 minutes of your life wasted. But you know what? I think we're back into talking about melee movement.
We are. How about you take a melee movement for us?
You can't get through one more paragraph before reaction phase. Fine, I'll do it. No, I'll do it.
Oh, no. Fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. Melee movement. Game masters should switch from overland to melee movement whenever players encounter other characters during their travels. Melee movement is also measured on a hex grid, with each turn representing 10 seconds of game time. The size of each hex is dependent on the type of transport being used. If most of the characters involved are traveling on foot or on riding animals, each map hex should represent a distance of 5 meters. If most are traveling in mechs or other vehicles, then each map hex represents a distance of 30 meters, just as in the Battletech board game. Movement speeds and terrain effects on melee movement have been described earlier in this chapter. Hooray.
All right. I think some of the folks out there have a reaction to all of this right now. After all units eligible for movement have completed their movement phase, the characters may adjust their facings on the map board by up to 60 degrees in either direction. Basically, you're turning one hex side. I mean, why does it have to say up to 60 degrees? Turn one hex facing. Facing changes are resolved in the reverse order of movement, with the character who moved last during the movement phase, person with higher initiative score, changing facing first, and the character who moved last reacting last. That's Battletech for you. Oh, well, there you go. Now we're into ranged combat. So if you've got a fire-breathing horse, when all characters have had a chance to change their facing, the combat round moves to the ranged combat phase. The personal weapons table presents all the combat information required for the most common ranged weapons used in personal combat. Each weapon is described according to skill class, damage dice, range limitations, and ammunition. Skill class indicates a skill used to determine the character's unmodified to hit roll with a given weapon, like, a pistol, handgun, I forget what it's called in this game, rifle, etc. Damage dice indicates the number of 6-sided dice to be rolled to determine the amount of damage given by a successful hit. What's that damage to again there, Brian?
HTK.
Which stands for?
Hit to kill?
Yes, there you go. Yes.
Hit to kill. Okay.
Range limitation indicates the weapon's effective short, medium, and long ranges measured in 5-meter hexes. Use this section to determine the range modifier for any given attack. And ammo indicates the number of shots available before the weapon must be reloaded, recharged. Oh, there's a beautiful Crusader and a Griffin.
Ta-da.
All right, there we go. So I've got myself a shotgun because every good man has himself a shotgun to defend his house. Uses the rifle skill. It does a 3D plus 2. So hold on, let me roll my Ds. I got some Ds right here. D's dice. 3 and 3 is 6, 11. So I did 13 hit to kill damage. We didn't roll the hit because you just know I'm going to. It's a shotgun and you're in my house. What does it say though? 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6.
Range limitations.
Okay, yeah, range limitations. Got it. I should have looked a line above. For a second, I'm like, that's what you have to roll? That seems weird. But yeah, range limitations. Okay. So if I'm rolling with no modifier to the die, just rolling my rifle skill, then he's got to be in short range. That's 1 to 3, 5-meter hexes. If he's at 4 hexes, that's going to be plus 2 to the roll. So it makes it a little harder to hit. And if he's at long range, so 5 hexes for the shotgun, then it's going to be plus 4 to the number. Interesting way they did that. I think it makes sense. Good balance between, hey, could you actually hurt somebody farther than 5 hexes? Yes, but chances are kind of low. So let's just say you can't hit.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it's just using Battletech, quote unquote, Battletech ranging. Yeah. It's like, this weapon goes this far. Could it go farther? Maybe. Don't worry about it. The only thing in my brain that I wish they would have done is actually put the ammo before the range limitations. Because as I'm reading this, It's like, okay, short, medium, long. My brain is just keep continuing on, and then I'm like, wait, this is because like I went, all right, range 1 to 3, 4, 5, 2. Wait, why is when that's ammo? Anyways, just ugly formatting. So I wish they would have put ammo right here.
Yeah.
Just so that all of your range. Anyways, that is a nitpick. Sorry, folks. All right.
Oh, shotguns. So the at sign. I thought the at was just a typo. No, that the at sign there. Shotguns may fire both barrels in one turn, doing double damage on 1 to hit roll. Oh, that's cool. So I did 26 damage. Yeah, boom.
That's only if you fired both barrels.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Because what if there's 2 people and they're not in the same spot?
Go wait till I reload. Have you ever seen a movie? Actually, no. Actually, by this point, he's running.
But also, you did forget your -1 2-hit target modifier.
Well, that's because it wasn't up there.
That's
saying. Awesome. Have an automatic -1. So that's good. By the way, that -1 is good. Because remember, we had the +2 penalty for medium range and +4 penalty for long range. So that's even better. Shotguns are the way to go. They don't shoot far, but you know what? You can double up the damage and make people feel ways about things.
And it's a little easier to hit with them. Not a lot, but a little. Yeah. All right. Ranged attacks. In order to make an attack in personal combat, a character must have a clear line of sight to a target, have the target within the maximum long range of the weapon he is using, and have a final modified 2-hit target number of 12 or less. This section outlines how to determine line of sight and summarizes the conditions modifying a character's base 2-hit roll. Line of sight. Line of sight determinations are made by using a ruler or straight edge to determine the attacker's line of fire and by examining the intervening terrain. In wilderness encounters, woods and elevation hexes can block an attacker's line of sight as follows. Line of sight is blocked if more than 1 heavy woods hex or more than 2 light woods hexes stand between the attacker and his intended target. Line of sight is blocked if a higher elevation hex stands between the attacker and his intended target. Line of sight may be blocked by a hill crest dead zone.
What?
If the attacker... Yeah, that's... that I think it's going to describe that because we've got a whole big paragraph here. If the attacker is shooting uphill at more than 1 hex range, his line of sight will be blocked if the next hex to the attacker is as high as the hex occupied by the target.
Okay, so folks, what that means is whether it's angled or a cliff, who cares? Let's just do angled for now. If he's up here and then back 1, you'd have to technically shoot through the road or whatever to get to him, or the hill to get to him. So he's protected by cover. If you draw it out, it makes more sense than the way it's worded there.
Right, but it also just says the hex next to it. So it doesn't mean that he's behind the hex that you're shooting up. Just like if the hex that he's in and any hex next to it is as high as he is at, then he is blocked.
Yeah.
So, conversely, if an attacker is shooting downhill at more than 1 hex range, his line of sight will be blocked if the target is directly behind a hex as high as the attacker's hex. Okay, so
you were really still there. I thought you froze again.
No, I didn't freeze. I was just thinking, but yeah, that's essentially what you just said there again. So, the number of hexes blocked by a dead zone depends on the difference in elevation between the affected hexes. That is, a 1-level change in elevation produces a 1-hex dead zone, a 2-level change, a 2-hex zone, and so on. Apparently, everyone thought I froze. In city encounters, buildings and building elevations block line of sight and create dead zones in the same way that elevation hexes do. Rubble hexes have the same effect on the LOS as light woods. If fighting takes place within a building or other enclosed area, walls and other larger than man-sized obstacles can also block or inhibit an attacker's line of sight if they fall within his line of fire for a given target. Characters who are concealed behind buildings, walls, and so on partially reveal themselves in order to attack opponents on the other side of that cover. A character who chooses to reveal himself in this manner gives his opponents a line of sight to attack him, though the attacker's 2-hit target number against a character protected by cover receives a penalty modifier. I'm hoping there's a chart for this. There should be a chart for this, but I get this, and I get what they're trying to do, but man, some of the wording is rough.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's typical. See, this is the thing: it's typical BattleTech wording. This is why I keep saying that this game is BattleTech with extra steps. This is how you would read the rule in BattleTech, a war game. It's not generally how you read a rule in a role-playing game, but there is a table. I don't know if it includes everything on there, but there is a table.
Okay. We'll look at that in a second then. Ranged combat modifiers. A character's base unmodified 2-hit number with any ranged weapon is equal to the skill rating target associated with his current dex, -1 for each level of skill in using the weapon. Either pistol, rifle, or bow or blade. For example, a character with a dex of 7, level 2 rifle skill, and level 1 bow blade would have an unmodified 2-hit number of 6 with any rifle weapon, 7 with any bow blade or thrown weapon, and 8 with any pistol. Characters then add or subtract the following situational modifiers to this base 2-hit target. And I think that's going to be all of our chart. Yeah, it's BattleTech, folks. Use the chart. So we've got our action.
And honestly, a lot of the modifiers are still the same as BattleTech. Obviously, dodging, evading is something that's new, but most of the modifiers, if it is in BattleTech, it's here, and they're generally the same.
Yeah, short, medium, long. So +2 for medium, +4 for long. +1 for running. There's no jumping modifier, though.
That's funny.
But extra modifiers for vehicles, whether it's moving slow or fast. Attacker fire modifiers, using the wrong hand. Firing through light woods or a rubble hex. Firing through heavy woods. That is straight up BattleTech. Firing a burst. Interesting. Special modifiers, partial darkness, total darkness. Total darkness. I think it's total darkness or fog of war.
I mean, fog of war is a different term, but okay. I mean, no, I think you're right about the table. Don't get me wrong. It's just fog of.
Well, I'm reading the note. Laser pistols, rifles only for each 12 combat rounds a battlefield engagement lasts. Add +1 to all laser fire 2-hit numbers due to refraction of light beams by smoke or aerosols. That's interesting. I mean, I get it. Like, you're kicking up dust,
Here's my problem with that. I accept it. Anybody who understands how like a lot of lasers work, there are different types of light lasers, chemical lasers, whatever. I get it. But there's a little bit too pedantic for my taste, especially when you're not adding in a whole bunch of other factors that really affect ammunition and indirect fire. And I mean, I'm not saying they don't have indirect fire rules. I'm talking about that kind of weaponry. Mm-hmm. So, I get it. It makes some sense, but
it does. I think it's interesting, but I'm going to agree with you that it is a little bit pedantic. That because also that's something now you're going to have to track. If you are using laser weapons, but it
does make sense though.
It does make sense. And from a simulationist aspect, I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to have explosions. You're going to have missiles going off. You're going to have, vehicles driving around, kicking up dust, kicking up dirt. It does make sense but it's like when they talk about game design, it's like, does this rule that you're adding make the game more fun, or does it just make more work? And unfortunately, I think this is one of those cases of this is just going to add more work. Let's see. Special attacks. Burst fire. Characters using SMGs may declare during their weapons fire phase that they are firing a burst rather than a single shot. A burst does the same damage to the target as a single shot, 3d6. However, if the shot is successful, all characters in the ring of hexes adjacent to the target also sustain 1d6 damage. Okay.
Okay. Look, SMGs aren't the easiest thing to just keep on target. I get that, but that seems like they're assuming that every time you fire, you go brrr, 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 like some 1980s, action movie. Instead of brrr.
Well, right, but in this particular case, think about it. It's just characters in the ring of hexes adjacent to the target. So essentially, if they're close together, you're going to get this bonus from the SMG.
Yeah, but
remember we're dealing with 5 meter hexes.
5 meters. Yes, that's 15 meters different.
15 feet.
How is it adjacent to? No, 15 meters. Because you have 5 meters here, the hex you're aiming for, and 5 meters there. It's all adjacent ones.
Well, yeah, right. But my point is, it's not too far off that if you're quote unquote spraying, it's fine. Also, how often are you actually going to have enemy targets or your characters actually grouped up that close together?
I mean, if they're soldiers, you move in formation, and we had a 6 meter spacing because of grenades, not 5. The idea is the same.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. And so like essentially this is telling you keep 1 hex in between all of your characters.
Right.
Yeah, you'll move in formation. You're just going to spread them out.
But that would be a 10 meter spacing instead of a 5 meter spacing.
I get that. My point.
And tactics can change over 1,000 years. I get that.
Well, right.
Look. I guess the point of the issue with this for me isn't that rule is bad. The issue for me is the fact that should be an option and not the rule for burst fire.
Fair enough.
I should have the option to keep everything on you. Give me a penalty or give me less damage. Maybe just double the damage, even though I'm tripling the amount of rounds fired or something like that. But that's all I'm getting at. I'm not trying to say that, oh my God, that rule's stupid. No, you're using burst fire. You're going, brrr. I get it. You're spraying an area, or you can spray an area.
Well, and I zoomed out so that I could just check real quick. I don't think they really have like burst. It doesn't really seem like there's any rules or modifiers for automatic fire. I think the best you get is burst fire.
I don't know, man, because this is back when the M16 A1 or it was still a thing, so that had full auto on it.
No, I know. I'm just talking from a rules perspective.
I bet you if you scroll down, we have careful aim. What's after careful aim? Weapons fire. Okay, well,
burst fire, aim shot, careful aim, weapons fire at mechs.
Well, what if I want to empty a 30-round magazine right now?
I hope we'll find something there in here. Otherwise, make a ruling. All right. Aim shot. Characters may elect to attempt to target their shots for a specific part of an opponent's body. To attempt an aimed shot, a character must have moved no faster than 1/2 his walking movement points allowed during the movement phase of the current combat round. He must also have a clear view, unobstructed by cover, of the target hit location. A successful aim shot always hits the target location. Careful aim. Characters who do not move during a given movement phase and have a target within their LOS may forego firing and take careful aim. For each round a character chooses this option, he reduces the necessary 2-hit target number by -1.
Bye-bye-1!
Up to a maximum of -3. If a character taking careful aim at one opponent interrupts his aim by firing at a different opponent, all careful aim bonuses are lost. Careful aim effects are also nullified if the target character moves out of the aiming character's line of sight before an attack is made. Weapons fire at mechs. In most cases, individual weapons fire will have little or no effect against mechs or other battlefield targets. Any character firing a weapon at a mech, vehicle, or infantry unit must check the shot at mech table for modifiers to the base 2-hit target and weapon range in Battletech map sheet hexes. If the shot hits, a second 2d6 roll must be made to determine if any damage was done. The effective damage column of the shot at mech table shows the range of numbers that will inflict damage. All individual weapons will do only 1 point of damage to a battlefield target. Trank guns, stunners, and all bow weapons will have no effect against mechs and vehicles, but will affect infantry units.
By the way, I like that table. And the reason I like that table is because so many games nowadays try to find ways of kind of hand waving this, making it simpler for people. You know, Palladium's got its mega damage. You've got Star Wars has the I forget what they called it, but the times 10 damage. Like if a starship shoots you, it's like times 10 more, and etc. Like they try to find these other ways that are just simpler. It's just a little quick math. Now this just gives you a table. Refer to the dumb table. I used my shotgun and I shot a mech. I got a 5. Oh well, I guess I hit him, but it went plink right off the armor because I needed a 2.
Right.
I don't mind tables like this. And one of the things that I've heard, about more modern game design is that people cry about, I shouldn't have to look stuff up. Shut up, it's a game. You don't want to look it up, memorize it. Things don't, because a lot of times when things are made easier, they're made in a way that don't always make sense.
Well, and I mean, that also does make that argument. Like Battletech, one thing I love is the fact that they've just got the quick reference sheets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Like actually, I'm gonna pull this out because I've got this right next to me. Jeez,
it's a very cluttered sheet in modern Battletech, but it is still a quick reference sheet.
Right, but I mean, it's just very, very small font. But then also you've got the good old Game Master screen. The GM gets a quick reference sheet. There's nothing wrong with a player having a quick reference sheet either.
Right.
So, yeah, Malachi actually brings up a better point.
Well, it's a very modern, what he typed in there is a very modern concept. And when I say modern in this sense, I mean there are a lot of people who look at you crazy. What do you mean I have to learn the rules to this game? I just want to sit down and play. What the hell are you talking about? Part of the expectation is that you learn how to play. I'll run you through the game once or twice without you, see if you enjoy it or something. But after that, yeah, get the book and play the game.
Yeah, I like you wouldn't play a board game without expecting to know the rules.
Well, you just show me what I can do. No, if I wanted to do that, then guess what? I'd play by myself.
There's a joke there that I'm just going to leave alone.
Well, Malachi, the difference is there are a lot of grognards, and I put myself in this category, who have read the rules. We just don't read them every day of our life. So we've incorporated house rules. We've incorporated a lot of different concepts that we like over the years. And yeah, sometimes they get so ingrained in us, especially when we meet other people who play the same way, that we start to come to think of them as primary rules. Unfortunately, you deal with some people over there, and as I'm going to say this, that, oh my God, go, no, my 40 years, you're wrong. Shut up, dude. Just because you read the rule book yesterday doesn't mean that how I play is wrong, because it works for my table. So
and then we also have the additional problem of like how many deep dives like this have you done?
Right. Look, we just did a deep dive of AD&D 2nd edition over in Legion of Myth, my favorite edition of the game. And there were things in there where I was like, oh, that's how it was supposed to be done. Because either I've hand waved it my entire life, or I have a different house rule for it, or I thought my house rule was the main rule. For the most part, I'd say easily 80%, if not 90%, I knew what was going on. But there were more, there's a handful of times I was like, oh, okay. I've been doing that wrong. I still like my way better, or whatever. But you get what I'm saying? Because you get into these things. I don't need to read the rule. I've read that rule book on and off again about as many times I've probably read the Bible or something. Like it's just, I had to reference it again, or I had to look it up. Be cover to cover? Probably not since the 90s.
Right.
But I've played it so many times that most of the stuff is in here, and things that I've changed for reasons that are important to me. But then again, you get the Twitterverse out there is like, who acts like, you don't actually know the game. Well, probably know it better than most of you. Just because I do it differently doesn't mean I'm doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the point I was going to get is like, how many times do we end up confusing a rule because, we read it here and then we're reading another game. It's like, oh, wait, this one does it slightly different.
Right. Oh, yes, especially with these read-throughs. Oh my God, dude. That happens all the time through us. Like people ask me a question like, wait a minute, isn't that supposed to be a +3 or +4? And I'm thinking, oh crap, he's right. But I was thinking about this other game at that time because, just for whatever reason, lodged in my head. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So anyways, folks, don't be afraid of tables. And if you need to, make a cheat sheet.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Max, tell us about calculating modified 2-hit target numbers.
Well, you draw a hex, and then you draw another hex with little woods in it. Then you draw another little. Following are several examples of calculating modified 2-hit numbers, and then we got. Well, what is it? What is that example? Can you? So let's look at this a second, and then we'll read the example, and then if Brian we'll scroll back up and we'll see it one more time. So you got this little map, this little hex map here. Okay, so it looks like we have hex B at the top there, hex A at the bottom left. So top right and bottom left there. And then we got a Volchak, whatever the hell that is.
I'm going to guess that Volchak is a character and Brennan's another character.
Yep, there you go. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So Volchak and Brennan. And then we got some light woods. Yeah, it's all light woods for the woods. Okay.
And a munitions plant.
A munitions plant that Brennan is about to go blow up.
I mean, what else do you do with munitions plants?
Well, you take them.
Right. We don't have time to take it. Just blow it up.
There you go. If I can't have it, neither can you.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. What is let's read what the example is then.
All right. Here, well, look at it on your book so I can keep the map up and I'll try and
okay. Yeah, I can do that. Give me 1 second here.
Here, look.
That's not a bad idea.
Work. I do not want to sign this.
Okay. So this. All right, what page is it? Oh, I got the page. We're good. So I'll read it and you show it. That's awesome. All right, example on 2 characters, a Davian Mechwarrior named Brennan and a Karita security guard named Volchak. Could you at least use a Japanese name? Come on now. Encounter one another outside a munitions plant on a Karita-held world, as shown in diagram 1 that Brian has shown you now. Brennan is armed with a laser pistol, presently still holstered, for which he has an unmodified 2-hit target of 5. That means he needs to roll a 5 or higher base that's unmodified on 2d6.
Ah!
What are you doing, man? I thought you were just going to show a map.
I am. I was trying to get like the little pencil icon so that I can.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Oh, that is not working. You know what? I'm just gonna stop that. All right, we're just gonna leave it on the map.
Volchak carries a readied rifle with a base to hit of 6, so that means he's not quite as good of a shot. Brennan, the Davian jerk, wins the initiative and elects to move last. Volchak walks 2 hexes to his left to hex A. Can you show that on the screen there? There we go. Yeah, it moves from there to there. 2 hexes to the left from Volchak to hex A. Got it. Brennan responds by running to hex B. He's like, oh my God, I need woods, I need woods, I need woods. Drawing his weapon as he puts a light woods hex between him and his foe. The 2 men are now 10 hexes apart. You want to count those for the fine folks out there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And which hex do you not count?
The hex that you're starting in.
There we go.
So Volchak is in hex A. Mm-hmm. So that is 0.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 10.
Perfect. Volchak applies the following modifiers. Defender is running. So Volchak is running. Okay. Let me see. The 2 men are now 10 hexes apart, which is medium. I'm sorry, which is medium range for Brennan. So Brennan's shooting. Short range for Volchak. Volchak applies the following modifiers. Defender running, +1. Attacker.
So Brennan ran, +1.
Attacker walking.
Plus, right. So Volchak's the attacker.
Yep. So Brennan running is +1 and Volchak walking is +1. Firing through light woods is also +1. Now, if you remember a bit ago, I said that he had a base to hit of 6. So 6 plus defender running, plus attacker walking, plus firing through light woods. Here, let me get the thumb out of the way there.
9.
It says 8 here. Look at the book just for a second. It forgot a +1. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Are we reading this backward? 5 + 2.
No, you're completely right. Volchak to shoot is going to get +1 for running, +1 for Brennan running,
Yep.
+1 for Volchak walking.
Yep.
And there's a light woods in between. Bam.
Yeah. And he has the 6, and we already know that Volchak has the 6. Yeah, the book is wrong. It actually should be a target number of 9. Because I think we can all add 6 + 3 is 9.
Well, no, 6 + 1 + 1 + 1.
Yes, it missed a +1 in there in the final.
Right.
So bad book. But I rolled a 10.
All right. So Volchak hits.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at Brennan. Brennan's modifiers are medium range because he's using a pistol. All right. So that's +2. Where are we here? The target was walking. Volchak walked. So that's +0. Attacker was running. So that's plus another 2. And he's drawing his weapon this round, which is also a +2. And of course, because he's behind it, he's firing through the light woods. So it's according to this, I'm going to do my own math because I don't believe the game anymore. It's 5 + 2 + 2 + 2. So that's so 5, 7, 9, 11 +1. Oh my God. Yeah. Don't believe the book, dude. The book is off again. Don't read it. Don't show it. His modified hit number is 12, even though right below that it says 10. It's 12.
Well,
as both.
Right. No, the funny thing is, it's like yielding a modified 2-hit number of 12. 5
and then does the math.
2
Yeah.
+2 + 2 + 1, which is 12, is 10.
It's 12. It is 12. 12 is the correct number. As both characters have a target in line of sight, and to hit targets of 12 or less, both may fire by rolling 2d6. And we talked about this last week. I want to get into that for a second, if you're okay with that. If the result rolled is equal to or greater than their 2-hit target, they will score successful hits. Well, hold on. I did not roll boxcar. So Brennan with the pistol up north missed, but Volchak down south win. You're wrong. Good to see you. Read the rules as written. Read. Yeah, but the rule literally contradicts itself right there.
I know. If the fact that it wasn't just like you want to say, oh, well, the book is never wrong. And it's like, no, you can see that the book is wrong.
It even corrects it or miscorrects itself.
We're dealing with numbers, not grammar here.
Right. Can you scroll up to that map again, please?
Yep.
So there's something that I personally take issue with in the game, and I understand it's a game. You guys, follow the rules, do what you want. According to this, if for whatever reason, let's just say that Brennan started with a 6 instead of a 5, so they both started with a gunnery skill of 6. Okay, that would have put Brennan's attack roll at a 13 instead of a 12. It says by the rule of the game that Brennan doesn't have to shoot. I call BS on that. Dude's in range, you wanted to take and you have a clear line of shot, you declared the fire, you still shoot. Just because you can't hit.
I thought it wasn't. No, I think he still shoots. It's just an automatic failure.
No. We read it last week, remember? And I mentioned it then, and then here it says, it's very clear that on if your target number is 13 or more, you may not shoot.
Yeah, I think I want to say we had the argument already, and we both just agreed that, you're still losing the ammo.
Right. Well, yeah, for me, yeah. But I'm just showing it on that map there because I think that map really shows it well. Is the fact that what's the difference? Just because, my gunnery skill is a little worse, I don't realize that it's worse. I just know that dude is downrange. He moved, and I want to shoot him. Oh, right. But my target number is too high, so I don't have to roll. Yeah, screw that.
No, you declared the shot, then your math, your space math
Yep.
came out poorly, and as
Yep.
such, you know,
You just miss.
yeah, you wasted a round of ammunition, a charge on your energy, cell, whatever.
Exactly. All right. Anyway, that's so hopefully I know the book made it clear as mud, but hopefully, Brian showing it on the screen there and me talking about it between the two of us there, hopefully that makes sense. And if not, yell at us in the comments about how we could, make it clear. But I could picture it in my mind, and that's good enough for me.
Okay, this I'm gonna declare that we're skipping example 2, because example 2 is literally the whole page. That, like, if I had like a pencil option and I could just be drawing all over this, I would do it. But
no, that makes sense. But also, just folks, so you can see in here, and yeah, we unfortunately showed one that had some bad math in both of the target numbers. But you can see that there are examples there, so you can at least get a good idea. The thing is parts of each of those examples are right. Like, if you look at that first one, if you don't do the final outcome of the numbers, where it forgot a +1 and just watch it through, you've got this modifier, this modifier, this modifier. It was right.
Yeah.
And if you look at the second one, it was right at first, and then for whatever reason couldn't do the math literally in that line correctly. But they had the. It's still correct and still showing you the process. Just you do your own math at home.
Yeah, and I'm not actually worried about that with the second example.
Right.
I just think we would bore everyone.
Right. No, I agree. My point is that these examples are generally good.
Yeah, and the best part about it, like, honestly, we keep saying it, it's Battletech with extra steps.
Yep.
So, the modifiers may be different. The situations may be slightly different. There's like, the target number modifier because you're drawing your weapon, which doesn't exist in Battletech. But again, it generally makes sense. You have this many movement points, you do these things, cool, it's going to throw in modifiers. So if you need the...
Oh, no. Apparently the internet does not want him to talk today. Did he get booted? But you know what? He gave me control of his stream. So give me one moment here so I can put things where I can see him just a little bit better. And if he doesn't come back here in just a moment, I'll continue on by respecting his wishes and skipping this entire Natasha Kerensky thing. And we'll go to the effects of armor. Share that. Oops, that's going to invite people to the stream. I don't want to do that. Screen. Ooh, yeah. All right. So until we figure out if Brian comes back or not here, I'll just move on to effects of armor. So characters can reduce the effects of some kinds of weapons fire by wearing certain types of protective clothing or armor. Players may equip their characters with one or more of these protective outfits, all of which are described below. Well, let's look at the flak vest then. By far the most common form of protective clothing worn in successor states is the flak vest, a cloth and metal fiber triple mesh garment designed to stop the penetration of slugs and other projectiles. A flak vest reduces by 1/2 all damage taken from slug-throwing weapons and bows. Okay, so it was like mentioning, well, we'll get to it. There'll be a damage section here. And is modestly effective against energy weapons, stopping 2 points of damage per hit. Flak vests have a total absorption capacity of 25 points of damage. After reaching this limit, the vest becomes useless, providing no further protection. A flak vest protects its wearer's full torso and arms, but not legs or head. However, the flak suit, a variant of the flak vest, provides full body protection. Flak suits have a total absorption capacity of 40 damage points, but are also bulkier than a vest, reducing a character's movement points allowance by 1/2. Let me scroll out here for just a second. And pistol, does it show weapon damage anywhere near here? Here we go. Yeah, damage. So we got that shotgun. It was 3D plus 2, right? So it was 3D plus 2. Well, if that flak vest reduces the damage by 1/2, let me just roll 3D plus 2 real quickly here. Now that Brian's back, we got... so I rolled 9 points of damage. That'd be 4.5 or 5 points of damage that, and then you take the rest off of the Black Vest. So welcome back.
Thanks.
Look at this. We discussed armor, and now, oh, his is better than mine. Look at that.
Well, I like
No,
I like the more
you're
full
good.
screen.
All right. So heavy environment suits are used for travel in endemic or low oxygen atmospheres, and provide the same protection as a flak suit, up to an absorptive limit of 50 points. So a little better. What's that?
It's a heavy environment suit. I would hope it works better than regular flak armor.
Well, it has more points, but it absorbs the same amount of damage. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It absorbs more damage, but it still protects you from the same amount of damage. There we go. Per shot. Anyway, heavy environment suits are also effectively protect their wearers from the effects of trank guns and stunners. -4 to all saving throw targets against these attacks. Remember, that -4 is a bonus. -4 is good. Game masters must bear in mind, however, that the life support effectiveness of a heavy environment suit may be impaired if it takes more than 10 points of damage. Light environment suits absorb 30 points of damage and add -2 to all saving roll targets against trank guns and stunners. Characters wearing environment suits reduce their MP allowance by half. They're a bit bulky. You're kind of slower in them. That's a neuro helmet, folks. Look at that. Oh, I'm looking at my book. Sorry. That bulky monstrosity. Could you imagine what your shoulders must feel like after that?
Why do you think they have the extra padding on there?
Yeah, but even still, just the weight resting on them. They even tell you, like with backpacks, like I wear a backpack where I can clip around my waist so it isn't just pulling all the weight in the shoulder. It's awesome.
Well, okay. and it's a neuro helmet, so it is sitting on your head.
Right. Yeah, it's got to read your brain faculties for those of you who have them. Heavy environment suits. Oh, I already did that. On rare occasions, players may encounter warriors outfitted with protective suits made from a blade of materials like those used to shield mechs making assault landings from low orbit. A blade of suits absorb all damage taken from laser fire up to a maximum absorption capacity of 50. By that point, you've dulled it, you've tweaked it. At 50, lasers start to go through, but offer no protection against other weapons. Because ablative materials are exceedingly rare and primarily reserved for mech use, only a few man-sized suits of this material have been produced, and their purchase cost, black market only, is usually astronomically high. There are stories, however, of certain crack Krita infantry units who possess such garments. Would that be death troops? Are that the death troops? They get those things? Bet you death commandos have them too. Death commandos are awesome. They have death in their name. And commando. All right, there we go. So that's for range stuff. Do you want to do melee, or do you want me to keep going?
No, I'll take melee.
Okay.
All right. Melee combat consists of close action between opponents in adjacent hexes. Characters engaged in melee attacks use weapons listed on the melee combat weapons table below. They carry out their maneuvers during the melee combat phase after the completion of all movement in ranged combat. Just as in ranged combat, warriors making melee attacks declare their targets in consecutive order, beginning with the warrior with lowest initiative score. To be eligible to perform a melee attack, a character must, 1, be adjacent to one or more enemy characters, 2, have not made a ranged attack during the present combat round, 3, have not moved during the current phase at a movement point rate faster than dodge or evade. Exception, a running or sprinting character may attempt a grapple tackle maneuver as described below. Weapons. The table below presents all the combat information required to resolve melee and close combat attacks. Each weapon is described in the following 4 categories. A skill class indicates the weapon skill used to determine a character's unmodified 2-hit target with that weapon. Damage dice indicates the number of 6-sided dice to be rolled to determine the amount of damage done by any successful hit. Ammo indicates the number of shots available before the weapon must be reloaded or recharged where appropriate. So clubs are brawling, swords are bow and blade. Why is bow and blade the same skill?
I don't. Are they? I don't think they're the same skill. Are they? That was bow. I thought that was basically bow or blade.
Why would it be bow or blade
Throwing
for
it?
a dagger?
Yeah, I don't know. Why would it be bow or blade for sword too? I don't know.
No. Equipment. No, it would be before equipment.
Because I kind of maybe can see it under throwing, but I thought throwing was its own skill. I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad cut and paste job. Remember back then they literally cut and pasted with glue. I used to have to do that.
All right. What page were we on? Sorry.
81 for the PDF. The actual book page is
Okay. I do think it is bow and blade on the skill, but I don't.
okay.
I'd have to find it. Regardless, I don't. Neural whip, bow or blade. They get.
Yeah, I got nothing, man. I can't even make a joke at this point because I'm confused. So
yeah, I know. It's like brain is not braining here. Okay, this is also kind of funny.
Hey, folks, in chat, when you watch this video later, you can tell us how retarded we are and just tell us what page that was on and why we're wrong.
That's fair. But I do also think this is funny. Neural whip, damage, 1d6. Vibroblade, 3d. It's just the inconsistencies on these little things. It's like,
well, if you look at the rest of, if you look at the rest of them, they all say 1D, 2D, whatever. It's only the Neural Whip that has the 6 on there.
What did I learn about Mechwarriors, you ask? They don't proofread or do fixes.
Hey, you know what? That's right. You got the creme de la creme of warrior out there. They don't need no English.
All right. 2-hit modifiers. Unlike ranged combat, melee does not require that either weapon range or line of sight be taken into account. The only considerations are the relative elevations of the two combatants, the type of movement each last performed, and the type of attack made. Character's base 2-hit roll with a melee weapon is equal to the skill rating associated with his current dex, -1 for each level of relevant skill. Bow, blade, rifle, or brawling. For example, a character with a dex of 7, skill level 2 bow/blade, and level 1 brawling would have an unmodified 2-hit roll of 6 with any sort of blade weapon, 7 with cudgel, blackjack, or club in hand-to-hand combat, and 8 with a bayonet. Oh, I guess bayonet would come under rifle. I would have preferred something like primitive weapons or something along those lines. Let's see. Additional modifiers applied to the base 2-hit roll are as follows. Anything standing out to you?
Using the wrong hand.
Yes.
I mean, but there's absolute reasons why that might happen. Also, I like the aim shot location chart or head, arm, other. So if you want to say, I know he's injured in that arm, or I want a headshot. All right, well, let's add +4 to that target number and see if you can do it.
Right. Yeah. No, it is one of those things. Yeah, using wrong hand. It's like, does the rule make the game more fun, or does it just make you do more work? So, all right. Special attacks, aimed shots. Characters may attempt to target melee attacks for specific parts of the body. To attempt an aimed shot, the character must have moved no faster than 1/2 his movement point allowance during the preceding movement phase. Successful aimed shot always hits the targeted location. Coaching? I've never heard this term. Attackers using cudgels, blackjacks, or clubs may make a special attack from behind in an attempt to knock their opponent unconscious. This attack, known variously as coaching or sandbagging, requires either a hit location roll of head or an aimed shot to the head. It gives 1/2 the weapon's normal damage. However, if the attacker strikes the opponent's head, the victim must make a body saving roll with a penalty of +1 for every level of his attacker's brawling skill. This shows that the attacker has the right touch rather than missing or alternatively beating his opponent's brains out.
Yeah,
if the roll
one
fails,
half knows the other.
Yeah. If the roll fails, the victim becomes unconscious for 1d6 melee rounds per damage point inflicted. Interesting. All-out attacks. Characters may attempt to put extra effort into a melee attack, throwing caution and potential defense to the wind. Any mech warrior attempting an all-out attack receives a +2 bonus to his 2-hit roll whenever trying such an attack. However, an opponent carrying out a melee attack against him also receives a +2 modifier to his hit roll. I'm not sure the math on this balances out. I'm going to go nuts. Throwing caution and potential defense to the wind, but I receive a +2 modifier, my opponent gets a +2 modifier on his 2-hit roll. So doesn't that give me more defense?
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. However, an opponent carrying out a melee attack will also receive. Yeah. Well, so hold on. Why? Because negatives are supposed to be good. Why is it all of a sudden saying +2? I didn't even pick up on that. But now that I'm looking at both, Mechwarrior attempting an all-out attack, it should be a -2 bonus.
No. I would say.
Okay, here's the argument. I think I know you're going to go, but here's the argument on this, but I'm going to argue back against it. You could say, well, it's -2 to the target number is one way to look at it, or +2 to the roll. The problem is a game book, clear, concise, consistent, and accurate. And part of that means consistency. It means everything should either be to the stupid target number or everything should be to the roll based on that target. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if I were adding the +2 here, okay, let's say my target number is 7. I just rolled a 7, but I really rolled a 9 because you gave me a +2. But the rest of the book treats it as in, well, if your target number is a 7 and you get a quote unquote -2 bonus to the roll, it means your target number is now a 5. So
yeah, because you've got the other problem. Remember, if your target number is 13 or higher, you cannot make the attack.
Right. So my deal with this is that the book should be consistent across the board. I think those are supposed to say -2. That's my guess. Because isn't everything else, when you look at any receives
you know what? This is where it's throwing us off. Because it's a +2 bonus to the 2-hit roll. And then the opponent gets a +2 modifier to his 2-hit roll. That's okay. That's
But hold on. Please go to just slide to the left.
Slide to the left.
And go to the top of that chart. So, I think it's a misprint over here. Those are supposed to be -2s.
I'm going to 100% agree with you. Oh, this is ridiculous.
I'm not going to lie. I don't, but to be fair, this isn't a book I've used extensively. I don't remember this book being this bad. And here's the thing. There are a couple of sections in a book that are the most important for you to get right, to proofread, to double, triple, quadruple check over and over and over again. Number 1, character creation. Number 2, combat. Because what are the two most poignant things that people are going to look at? You can get a couple pieces of equipment wrong. You can get maybe a year wrong in the fluff or something like that.
You can get exploration rules wrong. You can get all sorts of things wrong. But at the end of the day, the only reason for the rules is for the combat.
Yeah. And you need characters to do that, and you need the combat rules to do that. So
correct.
So having it wrong here is just wow.
Yeah. Like everything else, all of the movement stuff, except for how movement affects combat, but overland travel or stealth rolls or interrogation, any of those rules, completely superfluous. Doesn't matter. The GM can make a ruling, and 99% of the time nobody is going to care. You get your combat rules wrong and everybody's going to be pissed. I want to do this thing.
Because these things, like you said, I cannot say that word no matter how superfluous. Yeah, I can't say it. I don't know why, dude. I can spell it. I cannot say it. Yeah, They're, we'll just say, out of the ordinary. They're not something that you're going to run across every session. This is something that anytime you have combat, okay, it's an all-out attack. Are you doing that literally every attack? Who knows? But the fact is that option's there, and it's there often.
Yeah. Yeah, there's yeah, you get the combat rules wrong, you are going to piss people off. I want to do this thing. Oh wait, how do I do this? Well, I think it's this, maybe that. This is what
superfluous. Hey, I can do it.
Superfluous.
Whatever.
I was gonna say you're a little off. All right, it's fine. All right, grapple tackle. At times, characters may attempt to attack using their bodies rather than weapons. When the attacker has either not moved or moved very little, this attack is termed a grapple. Otherwise, it is termed a tackle. In both cases, the objective is to restrain the opponent or to wrestle or shove them to the ground or floor. In making a grapple tackle attack, the attacker suffers a penalty for moving during the preceding movement phase, but also receives a +1 bonus to damage for each 2 hexes traveled, rounding down. This represents the additional force generated by a running opponent against an immobile target. The grapple tackle attack is resolved in the normal fashion. The defender receives damage as above, and additionally, the attacker sustains damage equal to 1/2 the defender's body score. All damage in grapple tackle attacks are applied to the combatant's torsos. For example, an attacker with a body of 8 and level 2 brawling skill grapples a defender with a body of 6, after moving 6 hexes to make the attack. The successful attack results in 13 total points of damage to the defender, determined as follows: 8 normal brawling damage, +2 level 2 brawling skill, +3 1/2 of the 6 hexes moved. The attacker suffers 3 points of damage, 1/2 the defender's body. All damage is applied to the torso. If an attack is successful, players must determine whether the combatants fall to the ground. The defender makes a dex-based saving roll using the difference between attackers' and defenders' body score as a modifier. In the example above, the defender would suffer a +2 modifier to his saving roll target. The situation were reversed, i.e. the attacker had body 6 and the defender body 8. The target modifier would be -2, a bonus to stay standing erect. During successive turns, the attacker has control of the defender. That is, the attacker may release the defender and move elsewhere. Otherwise, the defender must spend an entire combat round attempting to escape the attacker's grasp. This, too, is a dex roll made with the same body modification as before, with an additional penalty of +3. What?
Well, now you get it right.
If the combatants have fallen to the ground. The end result of all successful grappling operations puts both combatants in the same hex. All right, that is a lot, and I think I misunderstood something, I think, but you know what? At the end of the day, go read the rules, folks.
No, I mean, the example makes sense. So I don't want to dive into it that much because I think we'd be beating a dead horse. But I mean, the example makes sense. I didn't have any issues with it.
Yeah, I think it was just the reading comprehension. Well, I'll do it. Anyways.
You needed the map with it. That's what you needed.
No, because it's well, I'll figure it out later. All right, shields. Characters carrying a one-handed melee weapons or slug throwers may carry a small shield in the form of a buckler or Roman round shield to help in their defense. The usefulness of large full-body shields like the Tower Shield of Earth's Middle Ages has been obviated by the development of the laser. Use of a shield somewhat restricts the player's own vision and mobility, adding a +1 modifier to the wearer's own 2-hit target with weapons, and reducing by 1/4 his movement point allowance for any maneuver. Nonetheless, players may feel that the benefits of wearing such protection justify these costs. Alternatively, a character can use his shield as an offensive weapon. During any melee combat round, the attacker may choose to use his shield as a weapon, driving it against his foe in an attempt to unbalance or force him backward. As in a grappling attack, the difference in body is used as a 2-hit target modifier, and a successful attack requires the defender to make a dex-based saving roll to remain upright. If the defender is able to remain standing, he will be forced into one of his 3 rear hexes by the attack, and the attacker will advance into the hex vacated by the defender. Game masters may choose to allow shields of different sizes and capabilities, using the buckler shield as a guide.
Yeah, so if you're bigger, stronger, whatever, you're going to have more control over the shield. Okay, yeah.
All right. Tell us about firing ranged weapons into melee.
Why do you give me the jerk paragraph? Oh, hey, tell us about how you can be a douche nozzle to your team. Okay. I can do that. Apparently, I have experience with that. Sorry, let me slide this over. A little bigger this way. Firing ranged weapons into melee. Given the turn length and the proximity of grappling or wrestling combatants, the following simplification has been made in order to partially discourage trigger-happy combatants from firing into melee. Whenever more than one target, friendly or enemy, is present in a hex, the actual recipient of the ranged attack is determined, in all big capital letters there, at random, immediately prior to the hit roll. The reason for this is that a third party could not fire at one of two closely struggling combatants without risk hitting the other. Naturally, if the hit roll fails, the attacker misses all the targets in the hex. I don't know. I think you should roll random. There's a bit of suspense for that where it's like you roll first. Okay, high, it's Brian. Low, it's Max. And I rolled high. That's 4. So roll your damage. You know, this kind that's I don't know. That feels like a dick move. Or roll your attack roll now. You know, but I want to miss. I know you want to miss. Roll your attack roll now. That feels like kind of a dick move when you should just be like, okay, you rolled your attack. Yep. Did you hit? Yes. Okay, let's see who you hit now. Just seems like that would be a little more efficient. But whatever.
Yeah, and then also the surprise, you know, because it's like, oh, I scored a critical on Dave. No,
yeah, right. Yeah. All right. This almost feels like, you know, we're gonna rub it in your face. Hold on, let's see who it is even before you roll your attack roll. Oh, look at that! I rolled high again. It's always Brian.
Yeah.
Got a 4 and then a 6. All right, now let's talk about martial arts. Characters with brawling level 4 or more qualify for Mechwarrior skill. They are now able to kosh without a weapon. Is that a word I grew up with and just never heard? Like,
I have never heard that weapon.
I feel like it's like I'm like a valley girl. Like, oh my god. Their grapple attack bonus is body plus dex times 2 instead of +1 for every 2 hexes run. Well, okay. If you're doing proper math, there would be dex times 2, and then you add your body to it. I don't think that's what they mean, but I might be wrong about that. I think they mean body plus dex, and then multiply all of that by 2. I don't know. Hopefully there's an example, because you know what I'm saying by the actual order of operations for math, right?
Yes.
Seems so. Anyway, they only sustain 1/4 normal damage as a defender or attacker in the grapple attack. And no dex saving roll is required to remain standing after such attack. Oh, well, you are a ninja. Resolving melee combat. When resolving melee combat, the attacker rolls to see if he hits his target. If the roll is successful, non-lethal damage equal to the attacker's body is applied. The damage amount may be modified by certain skill levels. The attacker also makes a hit location roll. If a critical hit is rolled, the specific lethal damage is applied. Oh, if you critically hit somebody, you done blowed his brains out. Who's that boxer that Ray Boom Boom Mancini killed back in the 80s? I watched that match.
No idea.
I only know it because I watched that match. Like,
dang.
There's no. It was a Korean guy. If no critical hit is rolled, there is no additional effect. Now, lethal damage must be recorded and levels monitored as consciousness rolls must be made in the same manner as described for lethal hand-to-hand. An unconscious character suffers whatever others may wish to do. Okay, I was like, where's this going? Okay, unconscious character suffers whatever others may wish to do. It's your drunk friend who passed out and you started drawing little penises on his face. You know, whatever. No to hit roll is required to draw penis on somebody's face or an unconscious character. Non-lethal hand-to-hand are recovered at a rate of 1 point per 5 minutes for the first hour and 20 points per hour afterwards. It takes a minute to shake that off, but after a while, hey, you're good to go. No physical activity may take place during this recovery period. Physical activity stops. Healing of non-lethal at its current level. There we go. And look at that Centurion. Look at that. Awesome. I don't know. People complain about that design. I like it. I like it better than the PGI version.
So much of this classic art is just great.
Yeah.
All right.
What's she doing? She's in a gun. It's like she's not wearing a neuro helmet. She's inside a gun emplacement. Look at that. That's right. and she sees oh my God, she sees a hunchback coming. I hope she's got an AC-10 or something in that gun emplacement, or she's about to get messed up.
And there's a spider coming up on the other side.
Is the other side? Oh yeah, there's what's that other mech back there? I see the hunchback. What's the one behind the hunchback? I can't tell.
Yeah, that one. Maybe an archer.
Yeah, could
like
be.
That looks kind of like that, the missile pod.
I like that drawing. By the way, I like that drawing. The one with the hunchback one better than the spider one, but I guess that's all one drawing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I completely agree.
Cool.
So,
all right.
I think we're gonna end it there.
Okay.
We'll pick up on damage next time. But yeah, that is a lot. Obviously, this folks, do yourself a favor if you're gonna play this. Read this through a couple of times.
And correct all the mistakes after the first time.
Yeah. And don't forget to go through with a highlighter and a pencil to correct the spots that just, oh my gosh.
Now, wait, if you're out there saying, why the hell would I play this game? The game was done in 1980, whatever. Nobody even remembers those dates. Most of you people probably weren't even born back then. Why would I play this? There's a second edition, a third edition, a tactical edition, a whatever edition, a new edition, a Destiny edition, all these editions, right? Time of War edition, blah, blah, blah. A couple reasons. Number one, it's the closest thing to BattleTech that you're going to find in terms of Mechwarrior. This is BattleTech with extra steps. So it's really easy to slip into one, slip in and out of one into the other. Two, there's a nostalgia factor for it. It's not just like, oh, I got my nostalgia berries. I'll play one session of it. No, run a campaign of this. It doesn't have to be a long campaign, 25 years, but run a campaign of it. Watch those characters grow. Watch those mechs grow. Watch the mercenary unit, whatever you're doing, grow. There's a lot of fun that you can still have with this. Just because we're reading it, we're not reading it because we're like, whatever, it'll pass some time. We're reading this because you know what? It's got mistakes. It's got flaws. Quite a few of them, but it's worth. If you're a BattleTech fan, it really is worth giving it a try, especially if you didn't get a chance to play it in the 80s.
Yeah, no, that's the funny thing. Going through this, I think I would enjoy, like you said, not a huge campaign, but spend a couple of months, playing through a campaign of this, at least a couple of scenarios each where you get to do some aerospace and some battle mechs, some,
level up your character at least a couple of times to see him grow.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing. It's also not just that there's the nostalgia factor about it. Don't forget, this is what we have today, all built on what came before. Maybe Mechwarrior wasn't the best game out there, but they've kept a BattleTech role-playing game in print ever since. Maybe the BattleTech rules haven't changed very much, but they've done different things, and it's all going to shut up. But this has evolved. So it's, understanding where it came from can absolutely help you understand where things are at now. So
I almost feel like gaming in some regard is coming full circle. I'm sure if you were to look at the beginning of the book, you'll probably see that there are a bunch of editors for this book. Bad job by them, but I'm sure you'll see that there are a bunch of editors of this book, right? But one of the things that I'm noticing in the hobby as a whole right now, and not even just a hobby, like I've done a bit of, not a lot, but I've done a modicum of research on this, and I'm coming to find out that a lot of places, corporate games like this, even computer companies, they're getting rid of their editors. They don't find them to be important anymore. And so what I've noticed is that, sure, back in the 80s when everything was, wild, wild west, maybe not a lot of good editing in a lot of different books, right? Come the 90s, which I kind of consider the golden age of gaming, a lot of people say, well, it's really the 80s. Okay, fine. Maybe this stuff was developed in the 80s, but the games came out in the 90s, kind of the golden age. Books were generally edited much better, took time to come out, had a lot of heart and soul that was put into them. And then somewhere, I don't know what year it started, but I'd say maybe in the last 15 years or so, somewhere around 2010-ish, I'm starting to see that, oh, people don't care about that. Just get the product out, especially with self-publishing. Oh my God, I despise self-publishing. I despise it. Even though I have a lot of friends that do it, I still despise it because like, oh, I don't need an editor. If people don't like it, that's on them. No, I want it. When I buy a book, I want a professional product. And if you're making me pay money for it, I want a professional product. And the gaming industry now, the quality as we cover more and more games from different they're going down and down and down. Some very big exceptions to that rule. I think Alexander McCree's over-edited his book, but the idea is like there are. It's just, man, come on. Yes, you need an editor, and no, I don't want to read your slop, and I don't want to read how you talk. Write properly. Oh, nobody cares about that anymore. The fuck we don't.
Well,
Sorry,
and
the heck
actually,
we don't.
It's also kind of interesting because I saw something from Sandy Peterson either yesterday or the day before, and he was talking about where like game publishers have a problem now where they think the value is in the IP,
Yes,
not in the developers.
He, not even hearing him say that, but yes, no, you see that more and more with all these different game companies, whether they're doing IP-based games, which you and I kind of disagree on, where it's like I don't generally like IP-based games, but it also could be the company's IP itself. Now, I'm using a bad example here because I think he actually does a really good job of this, but like Palladium with Rifts. Rifts is its own IP, right?
Right.
And using that mentality, the value is more in the IP to some people than it is into like an individual product or the customer experience, so to speak.
Well, right. But the point that he was getting at, and it was more from like a video game side, like, you can have, and I'm just going to use Halo because it's come up recently in some stuff, but like you have Halo. Okay. Is Halo the same now that the original Bungie developers have all left?
I don't follow it, so I don't know, but I'm guessing no.
A lot of people would say no. I mean, or you could go back and even Dungeons and Dragons. Is Dungeons and Dragons the same?
No, not at all.
Now that all the original designers have left. We talk about the massive changes and things that, oh well, why are there dwarf wizards now? Why can paladins be any alignment? Why can we do all of this?
Stop breaking my brain, dude. Because you want to know why? Because it's not Dungeons and Dragons. Well, it says it on the book cover. I don't care what it says on the book cover. There's a spirit, a heart, and a soul that was part of it. I don't care if you played BX, AD&D First Edition, AD&D Second Edition, White Box, whatever. White Box might be a little bit different because it has that chainmail integration in there. But whether it's from Basic to the different editions of Basic, Holmes with BX, Holmes, BECME, etc. I know there are a couple others. They were all generally compatible with each other. The weird stuff happened in the settings. Dragonlance doesn't have orcs and it doesn't have halflings. Forgotten Realms, everybody's born with a +2 sword in his mouth. Dark Sun, you have psionics and everybody starts at 3rd level. But they still use the same general core tenets of Dungeons and Dragons. They started with that. And I just don't think that anything WotC's done is actually Dungeons and Dragons. It's just generic fantasy. That's all it is.
Right. But that's the thing is that when you got away from the original developers, then it started changing. You started having people who were more, who thought the Dungeons and Dragons portion was the important part and not the guy that came up with the rules that made Dungeons and Dragons what it was. So anyways, long story short, I think going back to the well, going back to these older games, and not saying that there's no good modern games, but going back to the well on this stuff, can do more than just give you some nostalgia member berries.
Yeah, and you can sort of see like the original designer's intent. One thing Heathen Dog and I, we kind of started, I don't know when we talked about it, but we kind of agreed on it at about the same time from just completely different aspects, more coincidentally, is we both came across this concept of we think that the second edition of the game is usually the best edition for most games. Reason being is the first edition of the game, while probably play tested, is usually rushed or play tested in a small environment. And then some of the things you just didn't see as being issues or problems kind of come out in the wash.
6 plus 1 plus 1 equals 9.
Right. But you clean that up, and the second edition of the game, Shadowrun's a good example of this, is generally compatible between first and second edition. Sure, they changed the damage codes, made it a little bit simpler for folks, whatever. But generally speaking, some spells were changed, but it's the same basic game. You recognize it with some cleanups. I would say that AD&D second edition did that for first edition. Doesn't say the first edition's bad, just they cleaned up some things and then they added in their own issues later on. But you get what I'm saying, like the second edition of a game. But after that, it either becomes a money grab or that's when things change to the point where it's not the same. Whether they're following cultural trends or different developers or a different publisher, whatever takes over. Just my experience, the vast majority of games are in their perfect place in the second edition because it usually keeps the original developer and allows him to still keep his concept.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree.
And Malachi, you're wrong. Stop it.
But I was going to say that I don't necessarily think you are wrong. If that makes sense.
1E is not the second edition of the game. It was a completely redone tournament. God.
I wasn't even talking about Malachi's comment. I was just speaking.
No, I was. You get these 1E purists out there who think that 1E it doesn't suck, but it isn't that good.
Anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and end it there. Max, anything you want to shout out before we leave?
So yes, while I was on this live stream, Heathen Dog communicated with me. So I now know what we're doing on Sunday. We owe everybody a members only live stream. We're actually going to do that on Sunday, and here's why. For the 5 people watching,
for all
and the 2 people who are also subscribed to my channel. But we're going to do that because 1, we owe it to you, and 2, because I think I'm going to live stream on Monday. I'll leave it at that.
No.
Special. I'm on leave, so I can, I'm on leave this week and next week. So yeah, so I think I'm going to have a special live stream on Monday that all I'm going to say is barring an updated notification, I think a lot of people are going to like the live stream I do on Monday.
Is Heathen Dog going to be joining you on Monday?
I don't know. Probably not.
All right. Well,
my guess is probably not. I wouldn't call that missing Malachi. I don't like domain play. I'll just be honest with you. I'm the adventurer from 1st to 29th level or whatever. I don't want to run a domain. If I do that, I'll play Birthright or Risk or Axis and Allies or whatever.
You don't want to build a castle?
I like the way Forbidden Lands does it. Forbidden Lands handles that wonderfully. Yes, you're out there adventuring so you can build your castle, but you don't have to play with all the politics and all the other nonsense.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, that's awesome. So if you are a member, check out Legion of Myth on Sunday. Otherwise, look out for Monday. As for me, I don't know. Sleep's been weird, but yes, I've got videos that I'm working on. So keep an eye out for those. I have actually, after this, I do need to record a sort of unboxing, go through a few things.
Oh, yeah. You're going to do a video. Is that what you sent?
Yeah, what I told you about this morning.
That's a lot of stuff. I just wanted to come with a costume.
No, that would have been great. I don't think I would fit, though. Anyways. But yeah, so I want to go through the contents of that. But yeah, anyways. Might be late tonight. Maybe just look for it tomorrow. A video coming out. But eventually I will get back to my painting streams. And as always, folks, I have my other channel, Reading Wikis for You. I've been having a lot of fun with that one. Every Saturday I do a Battletech video. Currently I'm working through the different factions of Battletech. Right now I'm in Max's favorite area, the clans. So if you want to check that out, I would absolutely love it.
I'm gonna contact my lawyer for slander.
But outside of that, I guess next week, come back, we will be talking about damage. Which we might be able to get through just that.
How long is that chapter?
That's only like 6 or 7 pages.
Jesus, 6 or 7 pages on damage?
Yes.
I hope there are a lot of tables in there because they don't need 6 pages on damage.
I don't know.
I closed mine out so I can't see.
Yeah, no, I don't know. All right, we'll at least cover damage. Maybe we'll cover some extra stuff. Actually, yeah, it's only like 3 pages. So yeah, so then there's expansions to Battletech, so the sequence of play and other mech-related rules. So that'll be next week. So come back, same bat time, same bat channel. If we have internet issues, don't worry. Max is set up where he can drive. Yeah, because that's not going to make this awkward. Anyways, but absolutely come back, hang out again. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. As always, like, share, subscribe, do all the fun things. And otherwise, we will talk to you next time. Good night, everybody.